I mean, look, you give a bunch of musicians, you can be in the studio recording actually your first record, which you should be really excited about, or you could be at a strip club across the street in LA. We made obvious what choice we made.
I remember us being in a mini storage, you know, with the roll-up door, no heat, no air, for 2 years, pretty much 5 days a week, writing those songs.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna do a drum count off for you start in, so just in case.
What's the count?
I'm gonna count to 4, then you start. Whoa. Wait, hold up.
20 years ago, I was a senior in high school when that record came out.
Yeah, 20 years, hard to believe, man. You know, it's so weird. I look back, and it's just that time in music, early 2000s, to me it was super exciting time.
When Island Records showed interest in us, it was a process of a thing, and at one point they were like, okay, we're gonna send this producer Bob Marlett down to Memphis. He's gonna demo a few songs, and then depending on how those come back, we'll make our final decision if we're gonna sign you guys.
I fly to Memphis, and when I get off the plane, and they're standing there in front of me, and the first thing that Josie says is like, "It's my birthright." And I'm like, "Birthright? What the hell are you talking about?" "It's my birthright to be a star, because I was born in the same hospital that Elvis died in. It's my birthright." And it's like, all righty.
And then all of a sudden, just it went from a bunch of starving artists, Tennessee boys, to we're going out to Hollywood, we're going to Jim Henson Studios, former A&M Studios, making this big major label record.
So the next thing out of his mouth is like, our other brother can't be here right now because he's in jail. And then at some point, as they're setting stuff up, Josie bends over to pick something up, right? And he's got a Glock 9 in the back of his belt. At that point, I was like cursing, Brian Coleman. It's like, dude, what have you got me into here?
I met Dave Mustaine in the hallway of there because we were in Studio B, we were Studio A, and I shook his hand, and he said, let me guess, you're the drummer. And I was like, how'd you know? He said, because your hands feel like you could catch a fish with them.
We started at A&M Studios in L.A., but while we were there, a construction team showed up and removed A&M and put Kermit the Frog up there. So it became Henson as we were recording, right? For the first week we were there.
Yeah, where was I?
You were probably across the street at Crazy Girls,
yeah.
Which is where we spent most of the recording budget.
That is true, yeah.
I would definitely say about my years-long relationship with those guys is like, there really was never a dull moment.
We ended up having to mix the record ourselves because
we spent all the money
budget
at
Crazy Girls.
That was kind of like their home territory. And I mean this with all love and respect, but they were guys that just, they attracted train wrecks.
Saliva's never been a band to shy away from a good time.
No.
Kind of old school.
Or bad times either.
Or bad time. Run straight for a bad time.
Oh man, I'm going all the way. I make my poetry every day and I'm frozen.
I feel like the Every 6 Seconds record, there's so many like highs and lows, but what's great about it and why I think it transitioned so well with people, it's honest.
Going all the way, I make my
With Your Z's, it was called Falling Out at the time. Totally different lyrics. Not nearly as good, I guess. It was a completely different song before Bob Marlett came in to do pre-production. He's in this little, this little crappy lounge chairs you buy at Walmart, smoking cigars the whole time, kind of leaning back, staring off into the future. Bob hears it and he goes, yeah. He goes, I like it. I love it. We're going to change it.
Okay, we got a great idea here, but now how do we make it a hit song?
And literally looks over at me and goes, play the chord progression in the chorus. I'm like this. And I had 4 chords. And he goes, that 3rd chord, get rid of it. And that was the difference in a demo quality song and a #1 hit at rock radio.
He took the files with him back to LA, did his mixing, and then whenever he sent them back to us to listen, as soon as I heard it, we were all like, that song's gonna be friggin' huge, man.
He did our band's record at the time, and then it's funny because he also did Brad's band Shinedown at the time. And then we're all in this band together, the three bands that Bob had produced.
He had the beard, he smoked a big cigar, the whole thing, and had the glasses.
And just sitting back and saying, yeah, it sounds great, but it's pretty terrible, do it again.
And things like, all right, one more time, don't skimp on the talent this time.
It's like, oh man, check out this riff. It's like, okay, great. Now what else do you have? Because a riff does not a song make.
Then if you kind of like get agitated with him or whatever and say something, then he had a way of telling you, hey man, I'm just trying to get you the best out of you. And then at the end of the day, when you hear the shit, you're like, you motherfucker, you knew what you were doing.
What are we doing here?
Click.
Oh, just rhythm, straight rhythms. Yeah.
Yeah, riff, ready?
All right.
Josie called me up and he was on the phone. I got this idea. Click, click, boom. And I went, that is a fucking hit. Dude, click, click, boom. I was like, I am fucking in.
At that time, we all had this mentality, and it wasn't really ego. It was just we knew we had something special.
I literally called the record company. I'm like, stop everything. We have to cut this song.
No one from the label, none of us had any idea that Click Click Boom was going to be in Talladega Nights. And Josie he was at the movie theater with his mom and his sister. All of a sudden, Click Click Boom, and he said he literally leapt up out of his seat. So realizing we had a song in Talladega Nights was like, wow, holy crap, we may have actually done something here.
The twisted, tangled emotions. There's always someone to help me
We were really planning on touring hard and heavy this entire time, and then COVID hit. We kind of thought we're sitting around bored. And we're like, well, hey man, let's just record some stuff.
Let's get creative, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole concept of revisiting and re-recording the songs, 20 years later, not only for the fans, but for ourselves too, because we were passionate about these songs from square one.
Re-record some of the old songs that people love and why this band even exists. This band exists because of those songs.
I can see it in my mind. I can see.
Click, click, boom. It's usually one of the last songs, and everyone's excited by then. We've won the crowd typically, of course. When click, click, boom starts, everybody knows.
Enough to die.
not re-recording anything as a disrespectful gesture to anybody, any former members of the band. It was just kind of like, we can't do the 20-year reunion shows, so let's do something in the studio and give the fans at least something, you know, to mark the time.
We wanted to make a video for one of the songs. We wanted to pick something that was a fan favorite, something we played live too.
Yeah. After Me was always a fan favorite from the first record.
We did the Spy Hunter one because that's one of the songs that people always ask me about live. And I had no idea the song ever existed until I went back to listen to it. And I was like, man, this is like fucking great.
I'm trying to make it to the other side, and I'm dying to make my move.
You know, we made sure that we approached this with the utmost respect to these songs to honor them and help celebrate with, you know, the fans as well who have stuck with us this entire time through the roller coaster ride.
SALIVA has new life, releasing its new album Rise Up this past Tuesday. The band and singer Josie Scott parted ways, and the band grabbed Jacksonville-based singer Bobby Amaru, who fronted his own band, Amaru, and played drums for the band Burn Season.
It's kind of funny when a rock band, or really any band, replaces the singer. There's always going to be the original guy, those people that live and die by the original person. But then there's, when someone else comes in, if it's a good fit, then there's a whole nother era in the band's career.
Be what you wanna be, see what you wanna see.
Hey, it's Paul Crosby from Saliva. I heard a bunch of your stuff. Would you be interested in singing with the band? And then I was like, singing with the band? What the fuck happened to Josie? You know what I mean?
It was to the point where I think they had fulfilled their 6 records with Island Def Jam, and at that point in the career, most bands might not continue on.
So we're like, look, if anybody comes across a singer that can do this, then we'll give it a shot, maybe, see what happens.
In your hands, and you can mistake it for anything that you are. And you can erase it with everything that you're on.
When we put the feelers out and searched, he was literally, was he not the first and only guy?
That was the only guy, yeah.
He's the only guy that we ever even checked out.
So Bobby, when he started singing for Saliva, it was one of those things where I feel like it wasn't like the fans were automatically like, well, here you go, we love you. I mean, he had to go out there and earn it. Like, he had to go out there and kick ass.
It happened so kind of magically. We were like, this has got to be meant to be, and here we are a decade later.
I got in the band. It's been 10 years. I'm in the 10th year now. And it was cool, man, getting in and getting my feet wet and getting on the road with these guys that were seasoned, that have done it for a long time.
I was in Fuel at the time, and we run into them on the road, and I'm like, God damn, they just brought the house down. Bobby had him, like, eating out of his hand. It was pretty impressive to see, but at the time, I was like, I'm in the other band, and I'm like, now I got to go up here and try to follow that shit, It's
just pretty crazy. I mean, 20 years as a band, and now a decade with Bobby is longer than any of our marriages have lasted. So,
then I joined Saliva, and I'm sitting there like, man, goddamn, I guess I'm lucky enough to be a part of 4 multi-platinum selling rock bands here over the last 20 years.
He's been in like for successful bands. You know, most people want successful band.
It's cool because I don't know many people that can really say that.
With every 6 seconds, there was definitely some divine spark in there that happens with fun record making.
It's a point in time for us that, you know, will be etched in our brains forever, and it was one of the best times of our lives.
Will I be doing this 20 years from now?
20 years from now, I mean, oh my God.
If Wayne is alive and well, yes, I will definitely rock with Wayne.
Yeah, 20 years from now, we'll be doing a 40-year anniversary called Every 40 Years.
I'll be a grandpa, he'll be a great grandpa. It'll be great.
I think my shirts keep shrinking every
Yeah, it's weird, but I think COVID shrank all my clothes.
I think I need to quit leaving them in the dryer so long. It keeps shrinking.
We try to just stay true to, you know, what Saliva is and that big rock sound.
It's a, you know, an opportunity for us to celebrate with our fans of this amazing record that we made that meant a lot to 5 kids with a dream from Memphis.
And actually get along better now than we ever have.
Yeah.
We work better in the studio now. Like, we've learned each other. The vibe on stage is great. There's never been a time in Saliva where things were more zen than right now. I'm loving it. I want it 20 more years. I'm here.
Hey guys, this is Bobby
And Wayne.
from Saliva. Thank you for watching. The new video After Me is out now, 20 years later.
Check it out.
What could you say?
This is what happens when you make me play guitar tracks over and over.